want to know what he is going to do about the situation.
Her script doesn't allow her to listen to the answer.
The Prime Minister was on top of his brief. Perhaps he'd be able to answer some questions. Mr. Speaker, he did not answer the question.
I know the script doesn't allow any adaptation, but this is getting tedious. I would have thought the Leader of the Opposition might actually sort of support day one protection employment rights, given where she's going, but she thinks maternity leave is excessive.
200,000 Ukrainians, mostly women, children and the elderly, have found sanctuary in the UK from Putin's war. However, a family of 6 from Gaza have applied to live in Britain using this scheme, and a judge has now ruled in their favour. This is not what the scheme was designed to do. This decision is completely wrong. It cannot be allowed to stand. Is the government planning to appeal on any points of law? And if so, which ones?
She hasn't quite done her homework because the decision in question was taken under the last government. It should be Parliament that makes the rules on immigration. It should be the government that makes the policy.
Mr. Speaker, he did not answer the question. And if he does not appeal, the law definitely will need to be changed. He talks about a decision made under the last government. It was not made by the last government, it was made by the courts. The issue we are discussing today is about judicial decisions. We cannot be in a situation where we allow enormous numbers of people to exploit our laws in this way. We cannot help them all, and we certainly cannot bring them all here. Will he commit to bringing forward that new legislation or amending his borders bill?
I've already said the Home Secretary has already got her team working on closing this loophole. They lost control. Same old Tories, open borders, empty promises.
The Prime Minister was on top of his brief. Perhaps he'd be able to answer some questions. Given this crazy decision and so many others, new legislation is needed to clarify the right to a family life in Article 8. I know Labour MPs don't understand much of what they're saying. This is a situation where we need to put our national interest before the ECHR. Does he agree that we should legislate even if lawyers warn that this might be incompatible with human rights law?
Her script doesn't allow her to listen to the answer. She asked me if we're going to change the law and close the loophole in question 1. I said yes. She asked me again in question 2, and I said yes. She asked me again in question 3, it's still yes.
Mr. Speaker, he didn't listen to question 1. I asked if he would appeal the decision. He did not answer that. He's not listening. He's too busy defending the international human rights law framework. A Palestinian came to the UK from Gaza in 2007. He is now a British citizen, and now a right to bring 6 family members here as well. The Prime Minister bizarrely claimed that a British passport was not a pull factor for those coming to the UK. A British passport, a privilege, not a right.
So before she lectures us, I think she needs to reflect on her own record and her own record here.
Mr. Speaker, he is the Prime Minister now. The people out there want to know what he is going to do about the situation. He needs to spend less time whining about the last government and do his job.
She has no idea what she's talking about. I know the script doesn't allow any adaptation, but this is getting tedious.
The Prime Minister has not read the judgment. I suggest that he does. The Attorney General, the Prime Minister's personal friend and donor. One Labour peer, Lord Glassman, has called him the absolute archetype of an arrogant progressive fool. We need to make sure we appoint people who believe in our country and everything we stand for. It is not clear the Attorney General does. The government is now recruiting a new Chief Inspector of Borders who lives in Finland and wants to work from home. This is not serious. Why should the British public put up with this?